y'all, welcome to Kroks and Socks Outdoors. We are out here this morning, as you can see, playing with a grandbaby a little bit. Got to tackle a little project on our camper. Got a little light on the front. Show you that. This little docking light. My wife, Mandy.
Hi.
Let us introduce our little special little helper today. This is our grandbaby, Chloe. Come to spend a couple nights with Mimo and Pawpaw. We out here blowing some bubbles this morning, huh? Hey, baby. Hey.
So can you
Hey.
say hey?
Can you say hey?
Look, Papa.
Chloe.
Say hey.
Say hey. Hey, she's looking for the kitty cats. She calls them meow meows. Them little treats a little while ago. Her little JJ toy. So anyway, we're gonna get on this camper. We got this little light right here on the front. We need to change it out. It has went bad. I'll show you what it's doing. So hit this little switch on the side right here. And you can see that just about all the diodes are out. I know it's still getting power, but the protective coating that was there over the top is just gone, disintegrated, whatever's happened to it, I guess the sun or something. So bought another light strip. Kind of worried about it a little bit, kind of nervous to change this one out because I'm not sure exactly. We've never done this before. Looks like it goes in right here on the camper. So we're hoping peel this off and hope there's enough wire back there to be able to pull out and make a splice. If not, it would be the worst case scenario. I'll probably end up inside the camper under that window sill trying to figure out how to get to that wire. But let's hope it don't go like that. We're hoping for the best. Got our fingers crossed. So let's get to it. We'll start trying to get this light off. Amanda's just trying to work this off of here with something plastic. We do not want to scratch that paint on the camper, like a automotive style paint on this fiberglass cap. So trying not to scratch it if possible. If we can get that off of there. We got some heavy duty Goo Gone and alcohol and stuff to clean that leftover sticky gunk on there off of there. While she's doing that, so talking to a guy the other day, and talking about camping, and he said him and his wife were looking into getting a camper or thinking about it anyway, and just kind of asked me how much maintenance and stuff there is to it, and he was just trying to get an idea of what's all involved in maintaining a camper, and asked, if there's a bunch of hidden expenses that they don't tell you about. Well, the honest answer to that is absolutely yes. Yes, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of maintenance. And there are some expenses, especially as the camper starts to get a little age on it. So I couldn't really answer that question for him because I think it all depends upon your outlook if you're considering getting a camper, on what you're willing to take on and what your skill set is. So for us, Manny and I, we try to do everything we possibly can to fix anything. So that's always our first thought. We never really go at, well, I got to bring it to the shop because something's broke. We try to work on it. We try to fix it. And my old motto is, if it's broke, I'm going to work on it. Now, if I can't fix it, it's really going to be broke by the time I'm done with it. And it'll probably really need to go to the shop. That's okay. At least we try. But some people won't do that. Some people are not going to tackle any project. So in comes the expense. Thinking about this light right here. I bought a new set of lights off of Amazon. I'll show you that. New set of lights here off of Amazon. And I'll put a link. It's just some Chinese brand of LED lights. $15 on Amazon. A couple dollars for the little connectors that I'll use to make the wires back up. So under 20 bucks, we'll change this light out, hopefully, if it goes right. But if you brought this to the shop, now I didn't call and get a quote or anything like that, just guesstimating. You're looking at least an hour of labor that you'd have to pay the shop. No doubt the light itself, instead of $15, would probably be 50 or 60 bucks. Plus a trip of diesel in the truck to bring the camper there and drop it off, and another hour and a half round trip to get it to pick it back up. You're talking about a half a tank of gas or more, maybe 60 bucks in diesel to bring the camper down there. So every bit of a couple $100 to change out this simple little light. So, you know, if you don't want to work on anything, you want to own a camper, just a couple little things to think about. It will cost more money wise if you're not willing to work on things, because there's always stuff to do no matter what camper you buy. If it's the most expensive camper on the market or the cheapest camper on the market, there's always maintenance. The roof has to be maintained, the air conditioners have to be cleaned, tires, about every 3 or 4 years you're changing those out, batteries, the whole mess. So just a couple things to think about. Depends on your skill set, what you're willing to tackle. Like I said, we try to take on everything we can, and we do that mainly to save money. That couple $100 we're not spending on this light can go to something else, or a weekend away traveling with our family. So we get out here, take a few minutes, and try to knock it out. Anyway, Manny's trying to clean this off, using a little Goo Gone here. And let's see if we can get this gunk off here, and we'll come back.
All right, so I have to apologize right here. For some reason, lost some audio for a good portion of the video here while we were getting this done. So I'll just try to give a little description of what's going on in the video. So anyway, Mandy's using some Goo Gone right there, and she's got it just about all cleaned up. And that was about the worst part of this whole job, was getting that sticky stuff off of there. It was on there pretty good, but that heavy duty Goo Gone gets it pretty good. So anyway, once we got the little sealing off of there, you can see the wires pulled out real easy. They had plenty of slack in there. I was kind of surprised. Didn't have to pull on them at all. Just very, very easy. They left enough back there. So what I'm going to do right there is I'm showing, we're going to go ahead and snip the old light off and then strip the wires back. And I'm going to strip one, cut one a little shorter than the other. That way when you put the connectors on, they're not side by side having to go back in that hole. I can put one in and then followed by the other, because the hole's not real big going into the camper. So I'll show here in just a second the little connectors I use. I've used them before on some videos where we did the four-wheeler. It's a little heat shrink connector with a piece of solder in the middle. And so you slip it up on the wire first, twist your wires together, and then slide it back down over the connection and hit it with a heat gun, and it'll melt that solder down on there. And plus it heat shrinks down to keep any water or moisture or anything out of the joint. So let's see, we'll show this here in a second. So that's the little connectors right there. I'll put a link in the video in the description. Those work really, really good. Just a few bucks on Amazon, you get a whole big kit, and they got various sizes that pretty much for anything you need. But you can see there's the solder right in the middle, that little silver piece, and the rest of it is a heat shrink, and there's some type of little gel, little water sealing gel in there also that melts down and makes that seal around the wire. So you slip that up on the wire first, and right here I have the new light strip. So this new light strip can be cut, it can be trimmed. Every 3 diodes there's a place to cut it. So you can pretty much custom fit it to what you're working on. And those little blue handle pliers right there, that's some Klein's. It's made by Klein Tools. I'll put a link to those also. Those are very, very handy. They have multiple different sizes of wires on there. You just find the one that lines up with the wire you're using. Makes it very easy to strip, especially that little thin, small wire like that breaks really easy. It just cuts that insulation and strips it right off for you. Really nice. Anyway, right here you're gonna see, I'll slide that connector up on there onto that first wire, and then I'll take the wire off of the light, and we'll twist those wires together, get them good and tight. All right, you kind of fold them over and then slide the connector right back down over that joint, and let that solder line up with the joint in your wires, and do the same thing for the second wire. I don't know what happened to my audio. We was using some new little mics today, and I don't know if somehow it got disconnected from the phone. or not, but we have to work on that. But somehow I lost this portion of the video of audio and didn't realize it till it was way too late. All right, so you can see we've got the connector slid back down, and now we'll take a heat gun and heat them up. And you just apply a little heat with a heat gun there and kind of move it around a little bit. Don't hold it in one spot. And you can watch, you'll see the solder will melt and the heat shrink will shrink down on the wire, and that little gel stuff in there kind of spreads out inside that connector. Pretty slick little system. Stumbled across those, didn't know anything about them until maybe a year ago, and I really like them, especially when you're doing something like this on a camper or a boat or a truck, something that could possibly get wet. Now this is going back into the cap of the wall, so there should be no moisture in there. It should be never get wet. But they're just so easy to use. Just why not? So anyway, that's about it right there. You'll see we'll slide the wires back in there and get it lined up so we can get it cut. Right here, I'm just trying to show, I'm sure we zoom in where you can see the little copper strips. That's every third light diode. They have a little copper strip, and you can cut right in the middle of that copper strip, and it doesn't affect the light. It just ends it right there. So to make it custom fit, this little light string that I bought was about, I think it was 10 foot long, 10 foot of lights, and didn't need that much for, as you can see, it's only about a 2-foot strip, but that was about the shortest piece I could find. Just pushing the wires back into the cap of the camper. And just slide in there real easy. I'm gonna line it up and see. And luckily it lined up just about perfect. I mean, it couldn't have been any closer, I don't think, to where it lined up for a cut spot on that wire. So where I'm pointing at right there is where we're gonna cut it. We'll just snip it off, and then the only thing left is to stick it on there. Now Mandy did clean that camper after we used the Goo Gone and all that. She rubbed it down with some rubbing alcohol and a cotton ball just to get any little oil or anything that's left on there off and clean it real good. It comes with, these lights come with a 3M backing tape. It's just self-sticking. At this point right here, I let Mandy take over. She put that up there. She's got a little more patience than I do getting something straight and stuck on there right. So, little grandbaby Chloe, she's ready for us to go play. So as you can see, man, it's just about got it here. And that's it. That's all it is to it. So you can see, flipped it on there. Everything's working, looks good. A different little color of light. The other one's more of a warm white. But the lights underneath our awning are this more bright white. So that's why we went with that this time. And I'm just gonna use some of that Lexel I'm showing right there. Put a little bit around where the wires go back into the camper. And then a little bit on this other end where we cut the light, just because I don't know if you have to or not, but it just makes me feel better that there's no open end or anything like that for water to seep in there. And just tighten it up with that stuff right there. And that Lexel dries clear, stays flexible, it doesn't get hard, won't mold or mildew. It's a pretty good product. If you've never used it, it's worth checking it out. About $10, $11 a tube, so it's not too pricey, not too bad. And right here, just putting some on that other end of that light. All right, so the Lexel's on there, got it all sealed up. Just taking just a little bit of Goo Gone on that rag right there, just for where the sides of my finger touched, and had some of that Lexel on, got some on the camera. All right, y'all, so we got it installed. And that's going to do it for this video. Get back to spoiling the grandbaby a little bit.
Do have a couple other little jobs to do on the camper. Be coming soon. Need to get on the roof and do our every 6-month inspection of the roof, all the die-core sealant and stuff up there, and look around the roof a little bit and give it a wash down. It's not really all that dirty. Maybe has a couple spots I want to clean, but the main part of cleaning it is so that any dirt that's in the little cracks and crevices that could be concealing some little hairline cracks or anything in the sealant, we get those get that dirt out of there so we can see real good. And also, if you do have to touch up the sealant a little bit, you don't want to be putting sealant on top of dirt or surface that's not clean. So that's the most important thing to protect your camper, is protecting the roof and taking care of the roof. So we can get up there and do that soon in a video, and then also need to do the slide seals that go all the way around all of the slides. A slide on the front here and 2 on the back, and there's seals top, bottom, and on both sides. Rubber seal that kind of flaps that goes in and out when you run the slides in and out. And that's what keeps the weather and the bugs and everything else out of your camper. So you can't let those rubber seals crack. So we have some conditioner that we put on there a couple times a year, and so far so good, but this time it's due for it. So anyway, it's Saturday. We normally get out here and do a little mowing, but as you can see, the tracks in the yard just from bringing the 4-wheel around and the water. It has been raining every day, and I don't know, don't feel like it's ever going to stop. 70-80% chance of rain again today and tomorrow. So won't be any mowing this weekend. We got to let it dry out some. So y'all have a good Saturday. Thank y'all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. This is what we do. Little things out here around our property, little projects that we try to take on and knock out. So we'll catch y'all on the next one. Thanks for watching.
There we go. Come on, let's go find Willow. Willow, right here. Come on. Here. Come on, right here. Get it. Here, what did you? Willow, right here. Come on, Willy, Willy. Here, right here. Here you go. Over here. Yeah, they like that, huh? Hey! Say toot toot! Turn it up. Hey, you're doing it!